Hello, my name is Chiara Sinigalia, and today I'm going to be looking into the ongoing debate of Italian food versus Italian American food. Growing up with parents that lived in Italy their entire lives, I really understood the difference between true Italian food and what would be considered Italian American food. This argument caused me to consider the food we prepared at home when I was a child versus the dishes that I've tried in restaurants. Both completely different things. Now, what we typically think of when we think of Italian food as Americans isn't considered Italian, but Italian American. This is one thing that I believe people really need to get right. We believe it's Italian food because it's what we have been told is Italian food. I decided to talk about this topic because I do understand both sides. I used to come home when I was younger after school and ask my mom for pasta al pomodoro, which is pasta with tomatoes, where most kids would maybe ask for mac and cheese from the Kraft box. And most of what is called Italian food here comes from immigrants from southern Italy and Sicily in the 19th century, which made up 80% of all Italian immigrants. About half of the dishes that would become Italian staples in America originated in Naples, and this is what's described as Italian cooking is actually Neapolitan cooking, according to Italy.org. These immigrants didn't have all the seasonal and fresh ingredients that Italy would provide them, so they kind of had to improvise for what America had to offer, and what ingredients were in season in America, or what even remotely tasted similar to Italy. The food is largely based on the foods that the immigrants had eaten, and this became Italian food in America. And Italian American cooking is a concept I'm familiar with only from going to restaurants. For example, spaghetti and meatballs would never be a thing in Italy. You would never mix those two. Pasta is so much fresher. Honestly, it almost tastes like a salad, if that makes any type of sense. The ingredients are so much more fresh when you go to Italy. In America, they pack on more garlic sauce, more tomato sauce, more cheese, and a blank ton of everything. They mix everything together. There's barely any vegetables considered in Italian American cooking, and might I add, they cook the pasta to the point where it tastes like slime in your mouth. It is so freaking soft. Authentic Italian food is considered regional, and every region of Italy has its own customs and tradition of what they consider to be good food, because that's the Italian food that these regions are used to. And this kind of goes to show you how fresh Italian food is. Italians use what is provided to them in season, so it always has to taste fresh and just organic in your mouth. Dishes like chicken marsala, veal parmigiana are inauthentic. You could never even put the words fettuccine alfredo or chicken fettuccine alfredo in one sentence in Italy because they would look at you like you had two heads and would automatically understand that you're a tourist. Italian immigrants who were cooking with these US ingredients didn't really go after the authentic Italian cuisine because obviously what we have now, like Italian dressing, you would never find something labeled Italian dressing on shelves in Italian grocery stores. You would condition a salad usually with oil, vinegar, salt, aceto balsamico, which is balsamic vinegar. Simple ingredients like that. The fresher, the better. The simpler, the better. The more simple the ingredients, the more taste you have. That is what my parents always taught me. Marinara sauce, not a thing in Italy. It's pomodoro, which is just tomatoes. Like I said earlier, pasta al pomodoro, that's what I grew up with. It's literally just tomato sauce, pasta, butter, and salt, but not a whole block of butter like Americans are used to. Americans have taste for quantity over quality. The dishes you have in front of you at an American Italian restaurant are bigger than your head. Pasta is not a main dish in Italy. You would get that before as a primo or a first, and they would bring you your actual meal after that. I can't even finish a whole pasta dish anywhere I go that is considered an Italian restaurant here because it's just simply way too much. Italian food, like I said earlier, is heavily seasonal and the cuisine is regional. Butter and garlic are used in moderation, and at its core, Italian food is a grouping of seasonal ingredients prepared simply and in a prescribed method. Every region of Italy has vastly different food, and each region is fiercely protective of its right to claim the utmost authenticity of each dish and its respective ingredients. Italian American food is not an accurate depiction of the country's 20 diverse, unique regions. What I learned from growing up is that I have appreciation for simple ingredients. I have appreciation for fresh dishes like fresh pasta, fresh bruschetta, not bruschetta. And this has just made me realize that the Italian food that is considered here, people don't get to understand the freshness and the goodness of these ingredients because they're just ingredients that are processed and just used everywhere. So you don't really get to understand the different kind of cuisines and cooking there is all around Italy. It's not just pasta, it's not just cheese, it's way more than that. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.